Subunit 5.6 deals with the topic discourse markers. Now, what does the term discourse mean? It is very simple. It is not as complex as it sounds. Just refers to a unit of language that is longer than a sentence. It actually just refers to spoken word, uh, but it can be as short as a conversation of 3 or 4 utterances or as long as a novel. In academic writing, it refers to expressions that are used to connect ideas. So, whenever we are writing something, we have a lot of ideas, and these ideas shouldn't stand separate or unconnected to each other. We must take care to connect these ideas. That is, one sentence should lead to another sentence. There should be a flow. Similarly, that is a relationship between sentences within a paragraph. Now, there should be a relationship between paragraphs also. One paragraph should lead to the next paragraph. That is what you call a flow in reading. So that is achieved by using such discourse markers or expressions that help us to connect ideas, parts of speech or writing, also help us to emphasize, clarify, move from one idea to next, and also connect sentences. So they are called as discourse markers. There are other terms that are used to refer to discourse markers. They are sentence connectors, linking words, linking phrases, or transition signals. So all these terms give us an idea about what it is. Sentence connectors, so help to connect the sentences. Linking words, words in a sentence that help connect one word to another word, or phrases, or it can be a transition signal, that is we are moving from one idea to next, like we use words like firstly, secondly, so we know that okay, we are moving, this is a transition from the first point to the second point. So such words are called as discourse markers. We have to use discourse markers in academic writing as part of our vocabulary, which have discourse markers. Examples of discourse markers are given in the table here. Anyway, as far as, anyhow, further, whereas, however, nonetheless, and all these things makes the idea very clear to the readers. The discourse markers are of two types: formal and informal discourse markers. So, in academic writing, we use it, but some discourse markers are suitable for informal circumstances, like actually, anyway, I mean, and things like that. Because we have already said that in informal writing, we don't use subjects like I, etc., pronouns, etc. But in formal discourse, instead of all these, we can use words like as a result, for instance, in addition, in conclusion, firstly, in general, etc. So again, it depends. Discourse markers, there are two types: formal and informal. Informal discourse markers shouldn't be used in formal academic writing. So please check this list. And if you have used any of these informal discourse markers in your assignment, please substitute it with the formal discourse marker. And either you can use the discourse marker at the beginning of a sentence, like firstly, it is stated that, or something like that. Otherwise, you can use it in between, like in the case of however, right? Or sometimes, yeah, in middle positions also, discourse markers appear. So there are two types of discourse markers, and if you use discourse markers properly, it helps to make the idea clear, present the idea in a logical, clear, and orderly manner, so that communication is improved or enhanced. But at the same time, we should not use make use too many discourse markers. Overuse of discourse markers has to be avoided, because if we use it too many times in within sentences, or uh, you know continuously in sentences, the work, whatever we have written, will look artificial, clumsy, that is not very order in an order, and the effect of the writing will be lost on the reader. So please do check that also with regard to your assignment. Coming to the concluding part, we will just see what we have learned in today's session. You have learned what are the language restrictions in academic writing, which is a proper vocabulary for formal writing. The list was given in the academic word list, what it is we have understood, and discourse markers also we have learned. Now, as part of revision, these two sentences here actually appear at the beginning of this unit as part of warm up, but I'm introducing it towards the conclusion because I thought you will be able to correct those sentences in a better way if you do attempt it after understanding about the vocabulary, the proper vocabulary to be used in academic writing. So please don't, these are the answers that I've given here, but initially try to look at those sentences as given in the text and correct those, and then you can look at these answers, what are the changes that have been made it, and you can compare your answer and with the answer given in the slide. If it is correct, well and good, you have understood whatever we have discussed during these through these videos. But if you have not been able to get the correct answer, please watch these videos again and understand the concepts very carefully. Thank you for your patience, dear students. Hope you have understood. You've got some idea about the right kind of vocabulary to be used in academic writing, and that you will be able to attempt the questions related to this part in the exam very well. Thank you once again.